Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us for our webinar this morning. I hope we're all doing well. I can see some familiar faces who have been joining us for a long time for our webinars. It's good to see you all again. And it's good to see some new faces as well. Wow. We thank you and we really appreciate you taking time to be with us today. We are starting shortly. My name is Josephine Into, and I'm basically going to be a moderator of sorts for this webinar. Before we start, I'd like to let you know that the webinar is being recorded and the recording will be made available after the webinar. So you can be able to rewatch it and get some of the salient points that you need for your work or for your research. I would also humbly plead that you keep yourself muted and also keep your cameras off so that it will not affect your internet's bandwidth, and to avoid interruptions as much as possible. Also, if in the course of the webinar you have some questions or you need some clarification, please feel free to pose those questions in the Q&A session or in the chat box, and they will be addressed during the Q&A session after the main presentation. If you also prefer to voice out your questions, that opportunity will be given as well during the Q&A session. So you raise your hand, we unmute you, and you're able to answer your question. Furthermore, a link to the feedback form will be shared for your comments and assessments of this webinar. We are always looking to improve and make things easier and better for you, our clients, and our audience as well. So at this juncture, I will be very glad and I am very honored to bring or to introduce you to Mr. Gerald Bimpong, our speaker for today. He has been in the geospatial industry for just over a decade, and he has been assisting clients, organizations, professionals, and people in the geospatial sector for just as long to improve their productivity with geospatial technology. So Gerald, it's really great to have you as a speaker for today. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Josephine, and good morning to all of you. You're warmly welcome to our webinar, and today we will be focusing on what's new with the ArcGIS User Types. So I kindly ask that you, in the next 30 minutes, stay with us, pay rapt attention, make note of your questions. You can use the chat like Josephine mentioned, or when it's time for the Q&A session, then you can go on ahead and then ask your questions. And so we will be looking at the outline for today. Is basically going to refresh ourselves on what the user types are. Look at that and then try and understand also what's the philosophy or the rationale behind the changes that are there. Looking also at the 4Ws, the what, obviously what are user types and what is changing, why they are changing, when they are changing, and who will be affected by those changes as well. Then we will go straight into the specific changes among the different user types, and then bring all that together and assess the impact and how it will affect our operations using ArcGIS moving forward. Then from there, like I mentioned previously, we look at the Q&A session, and then we move on to the end of the webinar. So moving straight on to the 4Ws, right? The what, why, when, and who is impacted. Well, then I will first say that looking at what a user type is, right? So the user type basically is an identity-based system which gives you capabilities in order to grant you access to the various apps and resources in the ArcGIS online and enterprise environment. It's important to note that user types are exclusively for access to ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise. Your standalone ArcGIS Pro and formerly ArcGIS Desktop, which was ArcMap, ArcCatalog, and all of that, did not leverage this type of access. So the user types basically are an identity-based system used that's able to identify who you are in the platform, and then based off that, you are given certain capabilities based on the kind of user type that you have. We'll look at that in a bit. And then that grants you access to the different applications, the different capabilities, the different content, and all of that. And so the user type allows you to either view data, so the capabilities are to view data, to edit data, to analyze data, and to share data, right? Those are the capabilities in a nutshell. So what is changing is now that these user types, we want to evolve the way that the user types are administered, how they are managed, right? In order to increase the access to ArcGIS for the different users or departments across your various organizations, especially in a more simplified way. And so previously you would notice that capabilities, for example, would have you'd have a user type, for example, creator, and then you probably wanted to use ArcGIS Pro. You would have to get ArcGIS Pro as an add-on. For example, you also have the mobile worker user type. You would also have to get location sharing as an add-on before you would be able to leverage those capabilities. But in order to increase the access and capabilities for the different users and the way that different organizations approach their work, Esri thought it important to provide these updates, and that is what we are looking at in this webinar. And so the reason what is actually changing is that the access has been expanded, so that the different organizations would be able to leverage the ArcGIS user types in a more simplified way. Now, moving on to the why, when, and who is impacted. The rationale behind all of this is to have the most out of the ArcGIS capabilities built into the user types. That is the primary rationale behind this, right? And the reason why this has become important is because ArcGIS has evolved from a single product standalone into more of a system that connects with other systems across different organizations. And this is also very important because you, for example, take an organization such as a bank, for example. You look at an organization like that and you would not really, off the top of your head, imagine, or it is not traditionally known to leverage spatial data products for which ArcGIS would provide certain capabilities for such an organization. But then you would notice that ArcGIS suddenly connects when the bank is looking to expand its operations. Where do we site our next branch? How many customers? Where are our customers coming from? What are the demographics of our customers? For an institution like this to really understand all of these relationships that the organization has with its surroundings, it is important to leverage technology like ArcGIS, and it doesn't make sense for ArcGIS to connect to such an organization or to leverage in such an organization as a single product, but it should be a system that allows you to perform spatial analysis. It should be the backbone of your operations, where if you want to expand your operations as a bank, you are leveraging ArcGIS as a system that connects to your banking operations in order to give you the insights required for you to grow your business, right? And so it is on this rationale, it is on something like this, which is why the changes to the user type capabilities have become necessary, because ArcGIS on its own has evolved beyond the use as a single product that was used for cartography only, producing your maps, your charts and figures, and then it is pasted on a wall somewhere. ArcGIS has evolved beyond that because you are leveraging a lot of products. If you want to report on your KPIs, if you want to have dynamic web maps and all of those things to inform decision making in different organizations. It is important to understand ArcGIS from a systems perspective in order to realize the benefits through the user types. And then another reason why it's also important and why these capabilities have been built into the user types is to improve the synchronization of ArcGIS with other products. It's important because, for example, if you have a product like Building Information Management, BIM, from Autodesk, you realize that Building Information Management, BIM, would leverage a lot of spatial products, but it will make little sense to have, for example, moving data. You have the building footprint data, and then you are moving it, probably exporting it as a CAD file or any other format that is compatible with BIM before you import the data in there, and then you are going to go ahead and then develop that in that environment. It makes little sense to do that in the way, in that manner. But then, in order to have everything synchronized, right, improving the synchronization and how ArcGIS connects to other relevant products in the space or in the industry, this has become also important. And so the user types allow you to leverage that synchronization. So you find, for example, that ArcGIS now connects seamlessly with BIM. It connects seamlessly with through GeoBIM in ArcGIS. Then it connects seamlessly with Microsoft 365 as well, where you even have Survey 123 being leveraging the Excel functionalities and capabilities to build forms, right? And so all of these things are important. That synchronization with other products for a seamless work process is very important. And so the user types have these capabilities built into them, and then it gives you that increased access, because we do not disrupt technology. We only look to connect to existing technology to make our work easier. Then it is also important to understand that the user types incorporate the different roles within an organization. So, for example, having a user type like the viewer user type, it is with the capabilities that the viewer user type has, it will be very relevant for an organization's top level management, senior management, C-suite executives who do not require certain capabilities like being able to edit, being able to analyze. They want results. They want to see reports. They want to see figures. They want to see charts. They want to see dashboards. They want to take one look at the dashboard and understand and have an overview of what is happening on the ground. And so understanding all of these required roles is the reason why user types exist, and is the reason why these updates have been made to the user types to be able to make this more simple. So then the viewer user type would satisfy that level, that's those class or group of people within an organization. Then the mobile worker user type, for example, would also satisfy those whose work primarily involve data collection out in the field. So leveraging applications like field maps, Survey 123, quick capture, right? The mobile worker user type has those capabilities built in there. And then with the changes that have come with location sharing, for example, suddenly work plans can be shared with all of these workers in the field without the need to add on these capabilities separately. So it's been built in there, and it is for this reason, understanding the different class of or workers or staff within an organization is important. So the user types have been classified in these ways to make sure that within an organization, the different roles that exist and the different type of roles that exist within an organization have something, have a place within the user types, the way the user types have been structured. And then one more thing also is that the user types have been expanded, the capabilities have been expanded because machine learning, advanced analytics and editing processes have become extremely important, especially in today's age of artificial intelligence. It's important to build all of these capabilities into the user types, right? So that all of these advanced learning capabilities are available straight out of the box for the different user types that exist. So this is, broadly speaking, the rationale, the key reasons why these changes have been made to the user types that exist, importantly, again, in ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise. So what are the updated user types? The updated user types are the viewer user type, the contributor user type, mobile worker, creator, professional, and then professional plus. So the viewer user type gives you the capability to securely, in a secure environment with the ArcGIS platform being compliant with the top level and IT security standards in the world. The viewer user types is for, like I described in my earlier example, for strictly viewing information products that have been created within the ArcGIS Online organization, right? So you can monitor activities and have a quick overview over what's happening, and then also receive status updates. So the viewer, like the name suggests, allows you to view the different products within the organization. Then we move on to the contributor user type. And this allows you to primarily edit data that has been created. So yours is to, as a contributor user type, yours is to edit the data. So data that has been collected in the field, and you have someone who is in quality assurance and quality control within an organization. Their primary work is to correct for any errors that are in the data set and nothing else. So it would make sense to have this user type within such an organization, within such a department in there, right? And so the contributor user type gives you the expanded capability of editing and reviewing a wide variety of data sets, including BIM data, right? This was not the case before, but now you can make edits to BIM data as well. Then we have the mobile worker user type, and this is primarily for field staff, those who are in the work, so they can have work assignments assigned to them, and then they go on ahead and then collects the data, and then also share their location within the different applications so that they connect the office to the field. So whatever is happening in the field, those in the office can see exactly what is happening. So if you are in an organization, say you are in the fast-moving consumer goods organization, you have a distribution network, and you have assigned a truck to move ahead and make distributions to certain points that you have predefined. So with the location sharing capability now included with the mobile worker, you in the comfort of your office can see the work that is being done in the field and then check if it is being done properly, right? Then we have the creator user type, which basically gives you, that is the entry point to ArcGIS Online and Enterprise, right? And so it gives you the expanded capability of now having access to ArcGIS Pro Basic, which wasn't the case before. Now with Creator, you have access to ArcGIS Pro Basic. You can perform administrative tasks, you can manage groups, content, members, control sharing, and then assign tasks for the mobile workforce in the field as well. Then we have the professional user type, which gives you access now to advanced editing and data management capabilities across the entire ArcGIS ecosystem, in addition to ArcGIS Pro Standard. And then you also have expanded capability for managing utility networks, and then for land administration or land management, you have access to the Parcel Fabric products within ArcGIS Pro as well. Then finally, we have the Professional Plus, and this is the highest user type, and which gives you access to make your high level analytics. And now, in addition to ArcGIS Pro Advanced, you have access to the full range of extensions in ArcGIS Pro when you have Professional Plus. And it is important to make a certain distinction here. Now, there are specialized extensions for different industries. So in aviation, we have the aviation charting extension. In the maritime surveying, we also have the bathymetry extension. We have the maritime extension. It is important to make that distinction here and now, that all of these extensions that are industry specific are not included in the professional class because of their specialization. However, the full range of out-of-the-box extensions I refer to here are the ones that include network analyst, the 3D analyst extension, the data reviewer extension. All of these extensions that previously you would have to purchase in addition, or previously you have to acquire in addition to your ArcGIS Pro license, now come fully included with the professional class user type. So these are the updated user types. We will briefly look at what has transitioned in the last point, and also discuss the timelines. Now, so moving on to really looking at what has really changed here, right? This gives us an overview. This is the summary of everything that we've discussed with the user types. This is the summary of everything that has been discussed. So for the viewer, you see that the viewer can, it may probably look smaller on your screens, but I'll just quickly run through them. Everything you see here highlighted in yellow is what has been included to the different and updated user types, right? So we have the viewer, contributor, mobile worker, the creator, professional, and then professional plus. So for the viewer, not much has changed. So you can view only, and then the products from dashboard, ArcGIS Earth, Experience Builder, Field Maps, the Hub Basic, Instance Apps, all of the products within the ArcGIS Online and Enterprise ecosystem. You can view data from that, and you also have the added the add-ons. You also have the location sharing as an add-on for the viewer. Then for the contributor, the main addition here is that you can view and edit data from GeoBIM, the Microsoft 365 apps, and then the mission responder application within the ArcGIS Online and Enterprise environment, right? And so you have view-only capabilities. So you notice that moving from viewer to professional plus, each user type builds on the existing one, right? So you see that the contributor can view only products from these select few ones, and then they can make edits to dashboards, the Experience Builder, 7123, the Map Viewer, Scene Viewer, and then these new additions of GeoBIM, Microsoft 365 applications, etc. Then the mobile worker builds on the contributor, right? So now mobile worker can view and edit data from field maps, ArcGIS Flight, Quick Capture, 7123, ArcGIS Workforce, and importantly for mobile worker, location sharing is no longer an add-on. Location sharing is now embedded in the mobile worker user type. Then for the creator, which has seen a lot of additions. Before, creator was exclusively for ArcGIS Online. Creator had nothing to do with ArcGIS Pro. If you had ArcGIS Online Creator and you wanted ArcGIS Pro, and you were not looking to add, say, the old GIS Professional to your Creator, then you would have to get ArcGIS Pro as an add-on. That has changed. Now, Creator comes with ArcGIS Pro Basic, comes with data pipelines, comes with ArcGIS Excalibur. You have access to the Knowledge Studio, ArcGIS Mission, and notebooks. You can make edits. You have access to the web editor, and then you also have Image for ArcGIS Online. So Image for ArcGIS Online was also an add-on, but now moving forward with Creator, all of these have been embedded, have been included to the Creator user type. Then we move on to the professional user type. You have now advanced editing capabilities and ArcGIS Pro Standard as part of this. Then for Professional Plus, you would have ArcGIS Pro Advanced, the ArcGIS Pro extensions, and I would make the distinction here again that these extensions do not include the industry-specific extensions. The extensions available are the default ArcGIS Pro extensions, which include extensions like the 3D Analyst, the Network Analyst, the Spatial Analyst, and what have you. And also, City Engine, for those of us who are the planners, urban planners, and what have you. City Engine is no longer an add-on. City Engine is now embedded or included in the Professional Plus user type. Another key important thing over here is the service credits. So for service credits are what you expend whilst you store data, you consume data, or run analytics in the ArcGIS online environment. So for the viewer user type, when you procure the viewer user type, or when you purchase the viewer user type, it does not come with ArcGIS online service credits, understandably, because viewer does not make any changes to data. They only view the data that is available on the platform. Contributor comes with 250 service credits. Mobile worker comes with 250, and then creator, professional, and professional plus also come with 500 service credits. Right? Service credits do not apply to ArcGIS Enterprise. I will mention that again. They do not apply to ArcGIS Enterprise because Enterprise is built on your own resources. Now, so we've looked at the what, we've looked at the why, the rationale, we've looked at what the changes are, and then now we have to also understand who is impacted, and then we'll look at when the changes or the impact starts from. So all those who are impacted are those who currently use ArcGIS Online and Enterprise. I'll mention this again, that your standalone ArcGIS Pro and your standalone ArcGIS Desktop, the old ArcGIS Desktop, are not impacted by this. However, I would want to reiterate that ArcGIS Desktop as a product has been phased out. It is now in mature support. We do not sell that product again, and this doesn't mean that your purchase of your ArcGIS Desktop is gone with the wind. That is not the case at all. We can convert your ArcGIS Desktop license to ArcGIS Pro. However, it will still remain a standalone product like the desktop was. In order for you to move beyond the standalone capabilities to enjoy the benefits of the user type from ArcGIS Online and Enterprise, you would have to transition to that platform, to either one of those platforms, depending on what your organization prefers, either ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise. So for all customers who are on desktop, desktop, whether your maintenance is current or not, you do not have to abandon ship. You are not leaving your desktop. Your desktop licenses can and will be converted to ArcGIS Pro. There's a campaign ongoing, we call it a revive campaign, to migrate all of our customers from desktop to ArcGIS Pro. So if you are here on this call today and you are still using ArcGIS Desktop, please note that desktop is now in mature support and out of life, approaching end of life, and so we would be transitioning you from ArcGIS Desktop to ArcGIS Pro. However, it's important to also explain here that if you're a customer who is current on maintenance and you are using desktop, we will migrate you, and you do not want to remain on the standalone. You are current on maintenance and you're on desktop, and you do not want to remain on standalone desktop, and you want to move to the connected environment of the user types, then we will migrate you to the user types. And we'll discuss that in detail because the team is available on standby to take up all of these issues and your requests regarding these changes. It's early days, a lot of confusion. We expect a lot of confusion and misunderstanding, but webinars like this have been organized to bring clarity. And so this is what is happening, and this is the impact that are on current users of ArcGIS Online and Enterprise. The user types are changing, and then the impact on users on desktop, standalone desktop, have also been explained. And so the added apps and capabilities, like I've gone through that, except for viewer, is also part of what the current impact is. So we're moving on to when all of this is happening. These changes took effect from the 26th of June. That was about 2 months ago. and the changes affected ArcGIS Online and Enterprise users only. What that means is, if your maintenance is current and you had Creator, from 26th of June, your Creator, which did not have ArcGIS Pro and all of those added capabilities, from the 26th of June, your Creator now includes ArcGIS Pro. Zero cost. Your mobile worker that did not have location sharing now has location sharing. Your editor has now changed. It's no longer called editor. It's now called contributor and has added capabilities. Your viewer remains the same. Your GIS Professional Basic fused together with your Creator to become Creator. Your GIS Professional Standard now changed and became Professional and gave you access to your ArcGIS Pro Standard and your advanced data management and editing capabilities. And then your GIS Professional Advanced has now become, from the 26th of June, Professional Plus, and includes all of the ArcGIS Pro extensions. And I'll repeat this for the very last time. Now, these extensions are not referring to the industry-specific extensions available in ArcGIS. They are referring to the out-of-the-box extensions that come with ArcGIS Pro for advanced editing and analytics capabilities. So in a nutshell, these are the changes, the 4 Ws. The user types have been updated. Some have merged together, specifically the GIS Professional Basic and the old Creator have now merged together to become Creator, giving you access to ArcGIS Pro Basic and added capabilities. The reason why all of this is being done is to improve access across the different organizations, streamline the process, make it simple, and eliminate the instances where you have to get add-on applications for your user types. Now, all of these add-on applications come embedded with the various user types. And so we will, through this webinar, basically just trying to educate each and every one here, all of our cherished and loyal customers, that these are the changes. It took effect from the 26th of June this year. These are the benefits that you derive from that. And so this brings us to the end of the presentation, not the webinar, because now we are moving on to take your questions and then we would answer them. I'm not alone. I have my team, the tech, our professional services team, our tech support team, our training team. They're all here. We'll take your questions. Our sales team is here, but I also want to set the pace for any question relating to pricing. In this webinar, we would not be discussing pricing. We take the pricing on a case-to-case basis. So your different sales representatives, depending on your industry. So if you're in the land admin, defense industry, when it comes to pricing, you talk to me. If you are in the natural resources industry, you are in the mine, agriculture, your sales rep will reach out to you to take all your questions here and have them reach out to you. If you're in the utility space, your sales rep will take all the questions regarding pricing and reach out to you to address those. If you are in the AEC engineering, your sales rep will also pull your questions regarding that and then reach out to you to discuss that. So at this juncture, I would hand over the microphone to my able moderator and then take the questions that have been asked in the chat, and those that have them can unmute themselves and then ask. So moderator, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Gerald. That was a very insightful presentation, especially into what to expect from the various packages that we are now going to have from our ArcGIS subscriptions. It seems there are no questions in the chat yet. So if anyone has any questions to ask, you need any clarification, you can feel free. The floor is open. So there is a question now from Majid, and he's asking, sorry, so let me read the whole thing. He's saying, my organization is on the ArcGIS online package. how do I access the ArcGIS Pro Basic?
Okay. Majid, I know where Majid is from. Majid is in my vertical. So basically with your organization, you have creator, right? And so your ArcGIS Pro Basic now comes with the creator. So the same credentials that you use to install, you sign into your ArcGIS online as the creator user type, that same credential, you would install ArcGIS Pro. If that hasn't been done, we would support team will reach out to you, help you out install. If that hasn't been done, but if it's done and you've installed ArcGIS Pro, you basically just run ArcGIS Pro. A screen will pop up, ask you to sign in. Then you sign in with your credentials, and then you're good to go. You can use ArcGIS Pro straight off the bat, just like that, right? If in the unlikely event that maybe the license hasn't been assigned yet, and in your ArcGIS online organization, you can assign the license to the users, the different users, the creator users that you have in the organization before signing in, so that they will recognize that, okay, this user type that's accessing ArcGIS Pro has that credential. But it's as simple as that. Install ArcGIS Pro and then sign in using your creator credentials, and then you're good to go. It's that simple.
Thank you, Gerald. Majid, are you satisfied with the answer? Or you can ask for further clarification as well if you want. So, Gerald, I know I'm the moderator, but I'm curious about something. Can I ask?
Please go ahead.
So with these changes coming, what guidance would you give for students who are using their department's licenses, basically? Are they going to be affected?
Yeah, so for as long as students access ArcGIS through ArcGIS Online, Josephine, please hold on. I will definitely reach out to you, Majid, and set you up with the ArcGIS Pro. Thank you. And so, Josephine, back to you. So for as long as those students access ArcGIS via online or enterprise, they will be impacted. And so it's basically the same thing, right? So the different user types, and then the different user types, once they are, for students, for example, if they're already using ArcGIS Pro, then they would have been on GIS Professional Basic, Standard, or Advanced. And so your GIS Professional Basic is now Creator, and then your GIS Professional Standard is now Professional with the added capability of Advanced Editing. So all of those things are seamlessly transitioned. And thank you for this question, because for our enterprise customers on the call, so for ArcGIS Enterprise, unlike ArcGIS Online, where these updates were saved and you basically wake up and it's already there, for ArcGIS Enterprise, in the way that ArcGIS Online has been saved with that, yours will take effect with the 11.4 release slated for either the end of this quarter or early next quarter of this year, right? So for our ArcGIS Enterprise customers on this call, that is how yours will be taking effect. However, currently, for your ArcGIS Enterprise, all of these capabilities are now available as add-ons. So you would have to manually add them on in your ArcGIS Enterprise in order to enjoy the capabilities. So take, for example, you are on ArcGIS Enterprise Advanced. Enterprise Advanced comes with 50 creator user types. And creator user types before did not have ArcGIS Pro. So for an organization that is on ArcGIS Enterprise Advanced, all those 50 creator types now have access to ArcGIS Pro Basic, but they will be provisioned in ArcGIS Enterprise as add-ons. So then you will have to assign the license within your ArcGIS Enterprise environment, and then assign all of those 50 users with the ArcGIS Pro Basic license. Then they can go ahead and then use ArcGIS Pro as it were. But then the way ArcGIS Online is basically embedded, that would happen for our enterprise customers with the ArcGIS Enterprise 11.4 release slated for I think it's November of this year. If not November of this year, it will be later in this quarter, somewhere September. But between now and the end of the year, 11.4 will be released. And then the enterprise customers can also enjoy these ones straight out of the box. Thank you.
Thank you, Gerald. So the floor is still open for questions.
I'm not sure if participants are able to unmute and ask. I think that may be, I'm seeing a few icons where the microphone and the video is disabled for participants. So maybe that's why we are not hearing from them. I don't know if maybe in the back end we could probably enable that so the questions can flow. But alternatively, if you have any questions like Majid did, you can just type them in the chat and then we'll take them up. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand so that we can unmute you and you can be free to ask your questions. In the meantime, I'm sharing a link to the feedback form. So in case you need some more assistance or you also want to let us know how we did, you can click on the link and then give us your thoughts. So Jennifer has two questions in the chat. And the first is, could you kindly throw some light on the service credits again? And the second question, what did you say the creator comes with, please? So a little recap of the creator user type. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Jennifer, for your question. So service credits, like I mentioned, are basically, think of it as airtime for ArcGIS Online. So let me try and draw an analogy. So I think in some time past, when you bought a phone from MTN will probably give you like 100 cedis airtime free in addition to the phone that you bought and for buying from MTN, right? Think of it as something similar that ArcGIS Online is, right? So when you buy a user type in ArcGIS Online, and say you buy Creator, right? You purchase Creator. Creator comes with 500 service credits, and those service credits are expended for three primary reasons. One is using the ArcGIS Online platform for analysis. Two is storing your data sets on the ArcGIS Online, and then three is accessing setting live stream data sets and applications in ArcGIS Online. So these are the three ways that you can expend that, and it makes sense because ArcGIS Online is provided as a software as a service, right? So there's a backend server network that is storing all your data securely, analyzing, that provides you with the computing power for your analysis and all of the things that you do in the all of the things that you do in the ArcGIS Online environment. So these are service credits. Gives you expend service credits once you're accessing these capabilities of ArcGIS Online. For ArcGIS Enterprise, because you host the ArcGIS Enterprise on your own server resources, there is nothing like service credits in ArcGIS Enterprise. So that is the whole dynamic with service credits. And then it's important to note that the viewer user type does not come with service credits, because viewer does not consume, does not create, does not edit, it only views what already exists in the ArcGIS Online platform. So viewer, when you make a purchase of viewer, there is no service credit that it comes with. The contributor user type, the mobile worker user type, both give you 250 service credits. And then the creator, the professional, and then professional plus give you 500 service credits for every purchase that you make. Then your second question was, what does the creator come with? Creator now comes with ArcGIS Pro Basic. ArcGIS Pro Basic is the key thing, but then you also have access to add-on apps like BIM in addition to ArcGIS Pro Basic. So that is what those are the clarifications for Jennifer. Then there's another question I'm seeing in the chat from Eugene. Says, I did not hear much of ArcGIS Pro. Has it also been affected? ArcGIS Pro as a product has not been affected by this. The key things that I mentioned are with the user types. if ArcGIS Pro has been quotes on quotes affected, it's now that when you have a ArcGIS Online Creator, you have ArcGIS Pro in addition to it. So that's like the major thing. But ArcGIS Pro as a product has not been affected. It is still in life. It is still the flagship #1 desktop product for GIS analytics and editing capabilities in the world. It's still your #1 go-to. And so ArcGIS Pro has not been affected in that sense. I hope this clarifies things. And I'm seeing another question, Joseph. Joseph says, what happens once the service credits have been expended? So service credits, once you totally expend your service credits, you can purchase additional service credits. They come in bundles of 1,000. And so there are very few organizations that completely expend their service credits. So typically within the validity period of your ArcGIS Online license, your service credits should suffice, but in the events that you expend it, you can purchase additional service credits from us. Thank you.
Thank you, Gerald. So we'd like to let everyone know your mics have been enabled, so you can unmute and ask your question when given the chance. I would like to say once again that the link to our webinar feedback form has been sent to the chat, so you have the chance to also more or less give us your thoughts about how we are doing. We're always looking to improve and to be the preferred geospatial innovator here in West Africa. Now, speaking about West Africa, I want to take this opportunity to let you know about our upcoming Esri User Conference West Africa. And the main idea is to bring together the big players in the geospatial industry in West Africa. Okay, so the link to the registration page will be shared, and also you can also speak to more of our colleagues also from the Nigerian team as well, in case you are located in Nigeria, to discuss more about not just ArcGIS and the products that we offer, but then any topics that you have. We're always looking to expand our networks and then to expand our reach as well. So one more chance for questions, or maybe you would like to speak to Gerald in person, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. Any further questions for the house? Okay, let me upload the link to the conference registration here for everyone. And then I would like to say a very, very big thank you to Gerald for your time and for these in-depth explanations of the ArcGIS user types, how it affects us, and what we can do to fully leverage on the packages and then the capabilities that it offers. Our doors are always open. Our phone lines are always open as well. You can contact us, you can pay us a visit, or you can also reach out to us or visit us at the conference in Abuja, Nigeria. Would love to see you and then to have a conversation. So we hope you found this session informative. We look forward to seeing you again, because like Gerald said, we do have webinars to expand more on not just our products, but also the various industries that have the potential to make absolute use of our products, and for GIS technology to improve their productivity and making an impact in their communities. We are thrilled you could join us today. The recording of this webinar will be made available very soon, and it will be sent to you by email. Alternatively, you could also join subscribe to our YouTube channel, the link of which will be shared, where the recording will be made available. We also have recordings of previous webinars we've had, as well as training sessions, so that you can improve your geospatial skills and also get some tips on how to make an impact in your geospatial field. We are very grateful to you. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.